It's almost. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Today is 21st of April 2023. Do you hear my voice, people?
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, got it. Okay, and everyone is good shape, mashallah. I am in different city. I couldn't we couldn't have two Quranic studies, correct? We gave a break for 2 weeks because of we were moving. We're in a very different state and city. I will share with you some changes, developments, inshallah, later in other videos. We are continuing studying Quran by using Quran Reformist translation. Let me put on the screen the Quranics.org. At the same time, I want to inform you that if you type my name at apps, Android apps at least, you will see my Turkish and English translation. And also you can download them as a PDF from academia.org. No, I'm sorry, academia.edu. If you type my name, Academia, you will see the first page of Google. And also you can, if you want in paper, purchase it. You can have it online at Amazon.com. Okay, that is information. Let's see where we are. Okay. You said, Carl, we left at verse
We're
19.
ready. Yeah, 292 is where we start today.
Chapter 2, verse 92, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Would you like with a loud voice to read this one? And if you want to make it easy, if you have a computer screen, you may open this page. And also you may open brainbowpress.com. Brainbowpress.com. There also you can see Quran Reformist translation. In fact, it is the latest version. Oh, why we could open that one too. Do you want to open that one?
Sure.
Let me open that one. Let's see, because we were able to put footnotes, but it is verse by verse. We can go there. Brainbow Books. I'm sorry, brainbowbooks.com. Okay. Brainbowbooks.com. Okay. Let me put this one here. Screen share. Okay. We are right now there, and let me put chapter 2. We can go from here, verse 92. Okay. Moses, okay, please go ahead. Please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you want me to start reading?
Yeah,
Or
please
someone?
start reading. Let's see whether we can.
Okay. Moses had come to you with clear proofs. Then you took the calf after him. You were wicked. We took your covenant and raised the mount above you. Take what we have given you with strength and listen. They said, we hear and disobey.
Exactly, like today Sunnis and Shiis do. They say we hear it, then they just disobey because of Ibn Falan, Abu Falan, because of this hadith, that
Abu
hadith.
Monkey and Ibn Goat.
Huh?
Abu Monkey and Ibn Goat.
Yes, exactly. Hear and disobey. Go ahead.
And they had consumed the calf inside their hearts by their rejection. Say, miserable indeed is what your affirmation instructs you, if you are those who affirm.
And I have a footnote about this. If you want, you may check whether you agree or disagree. It's up to you.
So,
Yeah, that's a good explanation. The love of calf was sipped into their hearts, as if they consumed the calf, you know.
This is a very interesting distortion, misunderstanding by the Bible writers, translators, and they say they drank the juice of the calf, it is also made of ornaments, gold, correct?
the calf, the statue, yes.
Was made out of gold, yeah. Actually.
I know, but the Quran uses the expression as a metaphor about the love of the calf, the cow, whatever they were worshiping, the Egyptians. It was basically, they were intoxicated by that love. They were so much assimilated by their oppressors. They have basically became more for Pharaoh than Pharaoh for himself. And this is showing that kind of, unfortunately, what's called, there's a certain name for it. What syndrome? Yeah. But the Bible translations, unfortunately, take it literally, and they made up this story.
Well, maybe it's a metaphor as well in the Bible, and made the children of Israel drink. Yeah.
Should we continue?
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead. Carl, if you want, you can you can put on screen yourself. You can find if you are able to manage it through your phone. But we are trying to kind of both of us to do. It may have coordination issue each time, but anyone who is reading, they could use their own screen to put it there. Okay, go ahead. I am your assistant right now.
Okay. Say, if the abode of the hereafter has been set exclusively for you to the exception of all other people, then you should wish for death if you are truthful. So it's, there's kind of an arrogance of there that they say it's only for them and nobody else.
Right, true.
That's still a problem today, I think.
Yep. Do you want to continue? Next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, say, if the abode of the,
This is the following verse.
The next one,
yeah. They will never wish for it because of what their hands have done, and God is aware of the wicked.
Okay.
You will find them the most obsessive people regarding long life, as well as those who have set up partners. Each one of them wishes that he could live 1,000 years. It will not change him. It will not change for him the retribution, even if he lived that long. God is watchful over what you do. Say, Whoever is an enemy to Gabriel, who has sent it down into your heart by God's permission, authenticating what is already present, and a guide and a good news for those who affirm.
What does Jibril mean? Il means God. Jibril means God's power.
Wait, let me see. It's
Check
a
it.
Hebrew name, yeah.
Yeah, Jibrail. I don't know whether Jabr comes from Jabbar, a kind of power force.
Gabriel is a given name derived from the Hebrew name Gabriel, meaning God is my strength, or God is a strong man.
Yeah, strong. Yeah, God is strong.
Mm.
So the strength of God, huh?
Yeah, Jibril.
Yeah.
Here says, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. The Quran confirms the previous scripture, previous messages.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's not really something separate. It is the same message as Moses, Jesus, and David,
Elijah,
Abraham, all other messengers brought.
exactly.
وَهُدًى وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Mu'minin, yes, those who affirm. Next.
Yes, whoever is an enemy to God and his controllers and his messengers and Gabriel and Michael, then so God is the enemy of those who do not appreciate.
Okay.
So
here there is a question. There are some speculation about this verse, about the categories. After God says angels, and then after angel, there is messenger and Jibril and Mikael. And the question is, do they belong to Melech, angel category, or they are separate? Some people, based on this verse, they argue that Jibril and Mikael are not angels, but in the Quran, do we have a specific verse saying they are angels?
Maybe they are both actually, messengers and maybe they are just both, messengers and angels. But let me see, Gabriel.
Yeah, this is, I believe that one of the cases in language when general category is mentioned, after that, examples are given, some specific example or some spatial examples for emphasis, and they are singled out, but it doesn't mean they don't belong to the category.
Right, yeah.
And therefore, this is one of those cases. God says angels, and then messenger, and then gives two examples of angels. And
right,
interestingly, those angels are also, Jibril is also called Rasul, correct? He's also messenger. The word messenger, Rasul, is used for Jibril, Gabriel, and Gabriel too.
Yeah,
Gabriel, how do you pronounce it? Gabriel?
In English or what?
Yeah, in English.
Gabriel.
Gabriel, okay. And therefore, this is one of the examples that parallel to obey God and his messenger. Messenger is not a separate from God. In terms of mission is to deliver exactly what God ordered him to do. Therefore, obeying God and messenger comes as an explanation. How we obey God? By obeying his message brought by the messenger. And exactly. That is explanation of obeying God, not as a separate authority, separate category. But Sunnis and Shiites take it as a separate category. They separate God from messenger. And the Quran, in fact, refers to this one, say, يُفَرِّقُونَ بَيْنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. They separate God from his from his messengers. And they exactly do. They say God means the Quran, obeying God means obeying the Quran. Obeying messenger doesn't mean obeying the Quran, obeying to Ibn Falan, Abu Falan. They separate. They create two different categories, two different sources, which is according to the Quran is shirk. مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ, to dedicate the system to God alone. مُخْلِصِينَ, ikhlas, khalasa, to dedicate alone, to God alone.
It can be so easy, Edip. Somehow, like most of the people don't understand, you know. God has sealed their hearts, unfortunately, I think.
Absolutely.
It's so easy, honestly.
Yeah, because of their own decision. The statement, the phrase, أول مرة, it says, because of, in the first place, they made a decision and it determines their attitude. Attitude then leads to decision, choices, and choices leads to behavior and acts. And therefore, it starts with attitude, with intention. I'm sorry, with the intention.
Yeah.
Do you want us to continue? Carl, do you have something to say? Mustafa?
No, I'm just listening to the power.
MashaAllah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Carl, we are continuing.
Oh, okay. We have sent down to you clear signs. Only the evil ones would not appreciate them. So,
Yep. وَلَقَدْ أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ. تِلْكَ آيَاتِ الْكِتَابِ الْمُبِينِ, says, after Alif Lam Mim or Alif Lam Ra. تِلْكَ آيَاتُ الْكِتَابِ الْمُبِينِ. These are the signs of a clear book. And here it says these are clear signs. And we see that people are rejecting the mathematical code of the Quran. Exactly, they are described by these verses. These verses are not left in history about 1400 years ago. They think the Quran, basically majority of the Quran left in that day. No. We are all audience of these verses and they are fulfilled every day, these verses in the Quran. But they think it fulfilled just in Mecca or in Medina, this verse about this guy, this Ibn Falan, this Abu Falan, that's it. Most of the Quran, they read it as a storybook, not applying to them. They don't take lessons from it. But we do take every verse seriously because we don't want to be one of those losers. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, Qadir Ben.
Hi, how are you?
Do you have an idea where am I?
Not really.
I'm far away. I'm close to you. I came much closer to you. I'm in northwest.
You are in New Jersey now?
Northeast. I'm in northeast.
Okay. Northeast mean like about like New York?
I am around.
Don't tell it. Don't tell it.
Indiana,
keep it secret, Edip.
Ohio,
secret, Edip.
I'm not going to give away even if I give a name, it's not the right place. I may give once a while certain city names.
No,
I'm not there.
Edip, if you stop by, I can buy you a good dinner.
Aha.
Take you out to dinner.
You cannot really entice me with dinner. My son is just 3 stories above me. We have the best view of the city. You have no idea. 2 corners. We are on the corner of the highest building in the city. And then we see 180 degrees. If I look a little bit from the balcony, I can see it maybe 190 degrees.
Wow.
And my son Yahya cooks very well. He's a gourmet cooker. He's just your chef. Therefore, you cannot beat him.
Nice.
But something else, I want to come see you just because you are my old friend. Inshallah.
Of course. I would like to.
Inshallah. We started at verse 92. We are right now verse 99. Carl is reading. Carl doesn't know how to write his last name. Let me add.
It doesn't give me a place to do that. It doesn't give me a place to do that. It just automatically.
What is your last name, Carl?
Howard.
Howard, you pronounce it very well. Carl Howard. And I'm going to put Arizona here. Well, you already exposed yourself. You are in Arizona. Okay.
It's a big enough state.
No one can find you. I barely, with so much help, I found you. Therefore, no one can find you.
Because I came and got you.
Yeah. Okay. Should we continue? Rilum, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I can do it.
Inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Whenever they make a pledge, does a group of them break it? Alas, most of them do not affirm. When a messenger came to them from God, authenticating what was with them, a group of those who had already received the book placed God's book behind their backs, as if they did not know.
Yes.
They followed what the devils recited regarding Solomon's kingship. Solomon did not reject, but it was the devils that rejected, by teaching people magic and what was sent down on the two controllers in Babylon, Harut and Marut.
Controllers is Melekain, angels. But some people prefer to read it as Melekain instead of
Kings,
Melek.
yeah.
They read Melek means two basically governors,
Kings,
two
right.
kings,
Yeah.
correct? But I prefer reading as a Melek, as controllers, as angels. Yes.
They would not teach anyone until they would say, "We are a test, so do not be unappreciative." Thus,
here it is the reason this very part tells us that they are not kings. Kings do not really teach people something. They do not say, "This is test, be appreciative." Kings are basically using power to impose, dictate their order on people, correct? And this doesn't sound like a kingly mission. This sounds like an angel, two angels, yes.
teaching people magic. But Edip, it says, but it was the devils that rejected by teaching people magic and what was sent down on the two controllers in Babylon. That means the devils rejected by following what was sent down on the two angels. But God only says good things with angel, I would say.
Read the whole verse, and then we discuss, please.
Yeah, true.
The whole verse.
They would not teach anyone until they would say, "We are a test, so do not be unappreciative." Thus, they teach what can separate a person from his mate, but they cannot harm anyone except by God's permission. They learn what harms them and does not benefit them, and they have known that he who purchases such a thing has no place in the hereafter. Miserable indeed is what they traded themselves with, if only they knew.
Okay, and let me just put the this footnote, my understanding differs from traditional understanding or orthodox understanding. I don't consider, based on the Quranic verses, I don't consider magic as something paranormal, extraordinary thing that some people get that power. Not at all. It is something that anyone can learn how to influence people. And let's read it and then we discuss.
Edip, can you scroll up, maybe? I would suggest the word magic you translated. The Arabic word is sihr, and when you look up the word on Lane's lexicon, it is a verb to specify that a thing is which seems to be like that, but it isn't. I would suggest rather using the word illusion rather than magic.
Yeah, the magic, sihr means magic, but magic, the content of magic, with the nature of
It's
magic,
illusion, yeah.
is illusion and influence. Let's read. Magic, according to the description of the Quran, is not a paranormal phenomenon. Verse 7, 116 and 117 defines magic with two characteristics. Magic is a tool employed by people with devious intentions to manipulate individuals and society via trickery and suggestion. Trickery and suggestion. Illusion and suggestion.
Right.
Let's open that verse and then come back here. 7, 116. 7, 116. We could put here. Hold on. 7, 116. Okay.
He said, "You cast." So when they cast, they deceived the people's eyes, intimidated them, and they produced a great magic.
Yeah, two things. They deceived people's eyes, illusion. They create, through hand sleight, they create illusion, and they intimidate them, means influence their impression. They change their sensual impression by, through placebo effect we can do, or through hypnosis. Basically, they did hypnosis plus illusion. And the next one, we revealed Moses threw down your staff. Okay, this is basically, yeah. Okay, yes.
So this devil work maybe makes like some disturbing, affect the other people. Do you think like devil has a power like that?
What did you say?
Like maybe devil, devil, evil, whatever.
Yeah, right now, devil has the power on people. Like movies are perfect magic, definition of magic. There is a spatial effect, illusions used, and also there is also influencing people, scaring people, making them feel, cry and stuff. All these emotions are being manufactured, and people are influenced by movie, negative and positive way. And therefore, if you say, make a movie, say, be careful watching this movie. For example, don't imitate bad actors here. You may do exactly, these angels were doing the same thing. They were teaching people about the power of influencing others through hypnosis and magic, illusion, and also things. But it could be used in positive way, like hypnosis could be used to put people in sleep instead of anesthetic, instead of some medication that some people could have reaction, very fatal reaction. In fact, I remember in one case, someone in the United States became news because it was the first of its kind, a hypnotist in Israel. he hypnotized the patient in the United States who could not accept the drug in order to go to sleep, anesthesia. And therefore, he put him in sleep through the phone, instructed him, basically did not use really illusion, only instructions, like the magicians, they were using two things. And then the guy fell asleep, and they were able to have surgery on his teeth. And I believe that this is done all the time. People are influenced by bad people, by good people.
Yeah, maybe this Harut and Marut was teaching something about like a hypnosis or some kind of like a still like scientifically
why not?
explainable.
But could it also be that they're simply explaining how the whole system works, like explaining how scammers scam or something like that? Like explaining the whole technique so people understand. They're not teaching how to do magic, but how to recognize what the process is that, you know, they think it's magic.
It's also possible, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to understand, Kadir, do you have issue with this understanding? I want to hear you.
No, I don't have issue, but I was thinking maybe like this Harut and Marut, the angels to the Melek, was teaching to people some kind of it's just like a maybe hypnosis or changing people's mind, just making the like affecting on the people, still like explainable with the science. That it's not really like magic mean some like extraordinary power, but explainable like as a like hypnosis.
No, people, ignorant people, they got it as an extraordinary power. The very belief that there is extraordinary power created the influence on those people. And therefore, you can influence people. For example, some religious clergymen, they do amulet. They write amulet. How do you say it? Amulet?
Emulate.
Yeah. Amulet. They write something supposedly will save person from magic, but through that they influence the person. They put together some ideas. They create some also illusion with their craft that they have certain powers and they can save them or they can curse them. And when you start believing those things, you are cursed. If you think there are some people who can hurt you by their eyes or by their thoughts, by their walks, by their words, you will become a paranoid person, and ultimately you will lose your focus in your life. You will be focusing on that person, and then you make up stories and you go crazy. And also many people separated because of these work, they influencing people. And they do it through even visual, the way they look, beard and certain things, they do certain actions to create a sense that what they do is really has power, magical powers, which doesn't. The magical power is in the mind of the person who believes it. It is the placebo effect, but augmented placebo effect, not simple placebo effect, augmented with illusion, plus a sense of a paranormal power that beyond the person, and that will play in really magic, positive or negative. Well, the movies are great example of magic, both illusion and also influence. Certain there is a message over there. Clearly, they put you in a mode you are scared. For example, watching movie. Have you ever scared? Have you ever cried? Isn't it interesting? Yeah, it could be good or bad. Okay, let's continue with the rest. What is the, okay, here.
What, two
Okay,
100?
next one, correct? Do you have anything
Yeah,
else?
next one, yeah. I can read it, yeah. Had they affirmed and been aware, it would have brought them a reward from God, which is far better if they knew. O you who affirm, do not say, shepherd us, but say, pay attention to us and listen, for the ingrates is painful retribution. وقول انظرنا والسماء.
لا تقولوا راعنا. Do not shepherd us. لا تقولوا راعنا. Do not say shepherd us. وقولوا انظرنا. Say look at us like no human being. واسمعوا and hear us. وللكافرين عذاب أليم. And this is very interesting. In 14 November 2016, Tayyip Erdogan, in the biggest mansion in the world, 1,150 rooms he built from poor people's money by waving Hazrat Omar's patchy clothes. And then over there, it was a Ministry of Agriculture. What is it? Tarım ve Hayvancılık. Oh, Ministry of Agriculture and Animals.
Animals, yeah.
Then in that conference, in the biggest room there, to the TV, live TV screen, he said, he basically narrated a lie, false hadith attributed to Muhammad. And then he said, I am shepherd and I am shepherding you. And I am also shepherd. Yep, this is unbelievable distortion and very demeaning. In fact, messengers, the friends of the messenger, people around messengers, they are called friend of messenger. Friend, equal, not cow of messenger or sheep of messenger. It's unbelievable. But let me find that speech. That's very important. Let's say, okay.
Edip, where's Leslie? Do you know it? Where's Leslie Terebesi?
What did you say?
Where is Leslie, our
Leslie,
guy?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it this one?
Yarın bir seçim olsa hangi partiye oy verir?
AK Parti. AK Parti.
Neden?
Böyle düşünmeden veriyorum, ne bileyim ben.
Teşekkürler.
AK Parti.
Neden?
Bilmiyorum, ona alıştık, ona veriyoruz.
AK Parti.
Neden?
Neden anne? Ben de bilmiyorum.
Unknowingly they say,
Teşekkürler. Yarın bir seçim olsa hangi partiye oy verir?
AK Parti. AK Parti.
Neden?
Düşünmeden veriyorum.
düşünmeden veriyoruz. Without thinking, we vote for him. We got used to. Let me show you another one. A real. I missed that one. Hold on. I think this one.
Peygamber
He's like,
olan çiftçiliği ve çobanlığı teknolojinin tüm imkanlarıyla destekleyerek doğru planlamayla, yönlendirmeyle, bilgilendirmeyle, teşvik ederek ülkemizde hak ettikleri konuma getirmeliyiz. Değerli kardeşlerim,
national agriculture.
çobanlık deyip hafife almayın. Alan alsın.
Don't say shepherd is something light. Don't take it lightly. It's a serious philosophy. Shepherd.
Çobanlığın
Shepherd.
Çobanlığın değerli kardeşlerim felsefesini anlamayan, onun psikolojisini yaşamayan insan yönetemez. Ben de bir çobanım.
I am a shepherd. This was not a good one.
I hate this guy.
I cannot believe it. Let me find a better one in my computer for you guys. This is because very important how someone, a sultan wannabe, degrades people, insults them, their integrity, their humanity, and say, I am your shepherd. And
With the billions of dollars. Yeah.
Muhammad against this verse and says, you are all shepherds and you are all shepherding sheep. And but he says, but he is not shepherded. He is the top shepherd. And basically, he tells people that I am your shepherd.
He shaves the sheep, Edip.
Huh?
He shaves the sheep.
Yep.
He raises them.
Hold on.
It reminds me, though, of, when the Christian Lord's Prayer, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. It's so in that case, it's God is the only shepherd.
Yeah, that's
that doesn't really make
good
a
metaphor.
sheep.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Here, I'm going to show you this one.
Çobanlığın değerli kardeşlerim felsefesini anlamayan, onun psikolojisini yaşamayan insan yönetemez. Ben de bir çobanım.
Çoban means shepherd. I am also a shepherd. Look at them. This was the prime minister. And they are clapping. This guy basically insulting them. And that verse says, do not say shepherd us. Say watch us, look at us. And very clearly critical of this abuse of the clergymen, because clergymen started using this one by claiming they are shepherds and people are herds. They are herding people.
Maybe this is like
really, excuse me.
This is maybe connected to a previous verse. It was about hypnosis to people, and then they accept being a sheep.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Exactly, following that one, because it is the influence that have the magicians, the clergymen have on people by taking their individual critical thinking capacity away. Basically, they cancel it. And people, when they do not think, when they become like sheep. And interestingly, in Sunni religion and four sects, in Shiite religion, and I don't know how many sects they have.
Sunni Shia, yeah.
They have Jafari, Zaydiya, Imamiyya, and few others.
Wahhabi.
No, not Wahhabiyya. Wahhabiyya is a sect of Sunni sect, like
right,
subsect.
Yeah.
Anyway, they all talk about muqallid. Muqallid, it is qalada. The word qalada is mentioned in the Quran. Qala'id, plural of qalada, means animals that have garland on their necks, that they are kind of marked to go to be sacrificed, sacrificial animals. Muqallid means a sacrificial animal, sheep. And muqallid is a terminology used in mazahib, is Sunni and Shiite mazahib. They say you are muqallid. They all accept. Today's even so-called alims, they claim to be muqallid. They are not mujtahid. Mujtahid means the one whose brain works, try to understand, like Imam Azam, Abu Hanifa, or Imam Shafi'i, Malik, Hanbali, but they are dead. No more mujtahid, they say. Everyone, including their big alims, only they become what? They become muqallid. Muqallid means an animal with garland, sacrificial animal. Unbelievable. And they use the same words, ra'ina. And the Ottoman Empire sultans, they call people ra'aya. Ra'aya means herded sheep. This is so important because the Quran and all the messengers tells people to be dignified. Do not become a slave of another person, servant of another. Only serve God. And God, how do we know God? God by universal values, because all God's attributes, the best attributes are God's attributes. They are universal.
Husna.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's continue a few more verses from, I lost, it doesn't show from screen right now, that page. Let me go to that page. I need to put my cursor on it so that be able to show. Okay. Who wants to continue? Oh, here also in the Bible, the word Ra'ina, shepherdess, implies to be led like sheep. Muslims do not and should not follow anyone blindly, including prophets, without using their intelligence, reasoning, and senses. However, the Bible uses the shepherd-sheep analogy to depict the relationship between people and their leaders. This is, I think, distortion in the Bible. Clearly, it is the meaning of the words is distorted. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them. Even my servant David, he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. Ezekiel. Jesus is likened to a good shepherd in John 10:14, Hebrew 13:20. Kings and leaders are compared to shepherds, Isaiah 44:28, Jeremiah 6:3, 49:19. Ministers of the gospel too are likened to shepherds, Isaiah 56:11, Jeremiah 56, chapter 50, verse 6, Jeremiah 23:4, Ezekiel 34:2 and 10. Also see Zechariah 10:2, Psalms 78:52, Psalms 119, chapter 119, verse 176. This metaphor would be abused to its full capacity by St. Paul, the dubious figure who distorted the monotheistic message of Jesus after his departure. St. Paul fabricated many stories and practices, including the justification of receiving money for preaching. When the true followers of the Injil, that is the good news, criticized him, he defended his milking the congregation, thereby twisting the original purpose of the biblical metaphor. See 1 Corinthians 9:7. Therefore, I don't know why the Quran rejects this one, but it is clear Quran rejects this metaphor. Perhaps this metaphor is really abused. I don't know why. That metaphor really contradicts all the relationship of messengers with people around them. They didn't shepherd people. They really discussed with them. They reasoned with them. They became friends with them, not their shepherd.
Yeah, it got abused, right? That's right.
Okay. Should we continue? Who would like to continue? Mustafa, do you want to read? Or Khadir? Whoever had loud voice, louder than mine.
I can read if you want, Edip abi.
Okay, few more minutes. We are going to close in less than an hour. Go ahead.
Neither do those who have not appreciated among the people of the book, nor from among those who have set up partners, wish that any good comes down to you from your Lord. Nevertheless, God chooses with his mercy whomever he wishes, and from God is the greatest favor.
MashaAllah. The reason I am translating whom and whoever in both meanings, وَاللَّهُ يَخْتَصُّ بِرَحْمَتِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. مَنْ يَشَاءُ, God wants, God wills. Or مَنْ يَشَاءُ, the person wills. Man, the person wills. It could be understood in both ways, and I know that deliberately this is used this way in the Quran to show the both aspect of destiny, that we have choice, freedom of choice, but God is the one create all the events. He is doer of everything. And based on our intention, our choices, God creates situation. And therefore, it is the will of God, our will. And God, if God did not will, we would not have freedom of will. Let me repeat again. If God did not will, we would not have will. Even our will is within God's will. Therefore, God chose to give us freedom of choice. And therefore, this is relating to both, because our will is within the God will and God's will, that God wants to test us. Should you continue? 106.
Okay. We do not abrogate.
I think, hold on, I'm so sorry. I think we read this one. I think, Carl, you took us past. I think we discussed these verses in the past.
Well, only by jumping ahead, because we hadn't read the ones that we just read today.
Are you serious? I don't know. Didn't we discuss these verses before? Or maybe I discussed somewhere else, maybe?
Probably elsewhere, but you bring this up a lot. So I think it's just...
Maybe before we brought this on. Yeah, you are right. These are a very important verse. Right now, verse 2:106, it is one of the most distorted verse, and this is one of the basic crime against the Quran. The translations, mistranslations of this verse. Yes, let's read it and a little bit discuss.
We do not abrogate a sign or make it forgotten, unless we bring one which is like it or even greater. Did you not know that God is capable of all things?
ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها. We do not abrogate a sign, nor we make it forgotten. نأتي بخير. This is an answer. When we do this, we do this. This is conditional statement. نأتي بخير منها ومثلها. We bring better than that sign or something like that. ألم تعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير. And there is an extensive discussion on this subject. I want to put on the screen. Anyone can stop, push the space button and stop and go over it.
Yeah, there's a double meaning of the Arabic word ayat, which means sign or can mean verse. Yeah, and most of the corrupted translations use the
the singular of ayat, singular form. It is in 84 occurrences in the Quran. It has, and in all of them, it means sign, 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 sign.
Yeah.
and miracle sign. But when it is ayat, plural, it means signs, and also it includes the signs of the book. And also it gives another information, because ayat means minimum 3. Plural of ayat is ayat. It means minimum 3 things, 3 signs. And therefore, for one verse of the Quran, really, we cannot say ayat. And therefore, minimum 3 verses make it signs, make it a copyright.
Yeah.
One verse alone is not sufficient to get a copyright, divine copyright, because there are short verses in the Quran. Any person randomly could speak those verses in the language, people who are native in that language. For example, the verse says, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, one verse. Where are you going? Well, many people could be speaking. These 2 verses doesn't make it miracle, but 3 verses minimum make it a mathematical code, because minimum is 1 chapter must have mathematical code in the Quran, and the number of verses is minimum 3. Therefore, 3 verse can have a mathematical code on it, and they are also evidence for the authenticity of them and for the also author of the verse. Anything on this? I want to stop here. Next week we can continue from this very verse, inshallah. Carl, next week start with this one because of the importance. I want to start with this one and then continue over.
Very good.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
God bless you.
Edip,
maybe
I could do an interview with you, or maybe 1-on-1 Zoom meeting.
Yeah, next time I may give link to YouTube when we have live, inshallah.
Yeah,
I would like to give.
I prepare some difficult questions. Yeah.
What do you have next week?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Salam alaikum.